everybody! Welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're here, welcome. My name is 𝐅𝐈𝐍𝐃, and on this channel, I aim to help you enhance your quality of life, whether it's professionally, academically, or personally. So let's get straight to this video. The topic of today's video is why you can't expedite love. So my inspiration for this video is I was thinking the other day about how in our current society, for the current generation, Generation Z, if you're watching this video and you're from Generation Z, maybe this video resonates with you. In this society that we live in, there's this tendency in the entertainment industry, specifically when we're talking about reality TV or romantic TV shows, there's this tendency to promote this idea that love should be expedited. So what do I mean by that when I'm saying the expedition of love? I mean, let's say, for example, when we're talking about reality TV shows, some of the most popular reality TVs of our modern society are TV shows that focus on people finding their partners in the span of like a week or a few weeks or a month. So they go on maybe this deserted island. They don't know the other participants. And then if say they find a connection, they're a perfect match, then by the end of the show, they must immediately run to the altar and marry each other in the span of a month. Now, while I do understand that these shows have promoted this idea that if you're somebody and you want to look for your soulmate and you want to find love, it is possible. You don't have to wait forever. You can find it in the span of a week when you least expect it. But at the same time, I think that these type of shows, they kind of promote a message that we unconsciously consume. And this message is that I need to find love immediately. I need to rush when I'm trying to find the person that I want to be married to. I need to immediately position myself in places and situations to find love immediately. And I think that that is a bit, I don't know, I feel that as a person from the current Generation Z, I have seen how that kind of messaging unconsciously has affected me, and I've had to unlearn it because while I do think that the expedition is love is something that may bring about people that get married, at the end of the day, what happened to love in its nature of gentleness? Love that doesn't rush, love that is slow, love that is patient. When I say that the expedition of love, this concept of love expedited, and how society has pushed that rhetoric in our current society, the way I've seen it manifested in our society is that, let's say, for example, you who is watching this video, you may have a crush on somebody and you are texting your crush, and because they're not answering you based on your standard of timing, immediately you tell yourself, oh, this person isn't for me. I need love that's expedited. I need love that fulfills my needs today, right now. And I want it right now. So because of that, you end up pushing away maybe possibilities, potential partners, because of this idea that you want love to be rushed and you want to find your partner right now. And I think that we need to normalize the idea of love that is gentle, love that is present, love that doesn't rush, love that doesn't judge. So what is an example of love that is gentle? When I'm talking about love in its gentle form, I think there's something so beautiful about it, because let's say the first example that comes to mind is, let's say, finding love when you didn't even expect it. You didn't really manipulate circumstances to get a forceful desired outcome to make the person that you like you back. It just happened so naturally and authentically. And I think those are some of the most beautiful forms the most beautiful expressions of love. Now, mind you, this isn't me trying to say that when you put yourself out there to attract a potential partner, there's something wrong with that. No, that's not what I mean. I think that there's nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, I encourage you to do that. I think when it comes to the context of the expedition of love and how society pressures us to find the one immediately, it causes us to overdo things, over position ourselves in situations to get a forceful desired outcome, aka finding a partner that we like to like and getting them to like us back, just overdoing things, suppressing our individuality, our authenticity to generate an outcome that may not be sustainable. All because we were told that when you expedite love, then you are going to get it in the form of love. But to what extent? Is it sustainable? In the long run, let's say in the beginning you wanted to attract somebody that you like and you suppressed your individuality, you suppressed your authenticity because immediately you just wanted to find your partner. Or let's say you may be somebody in your 20s, 30s, 40s, heck, 50s watching this, and for so long you had standards about your ideal romantic partner. But because you had these ideas of like how you need to expedite love and you became very impatient on not having found the one, you ended up lowering your standards to attract somebody to settle with. But in the long run, it may not have been sustainable because you weren't authentically you when you decided to lower those standards. And I think that when we're talking about love in its expedited nature and how society tells us that we need to find the one immediately, we need to find our partner immediately because time is ticking. And if we don't find the one, then there must be something wrong with us. For you that's watching this, maybe that's the rhetoric that you get. You may be somebody who is surrounded by friends that are in relationships, that are married. Some of them may have even children, and you have been single for a while. And maybe you also start to question yourself and you start to ask yourself, is there something wrong with me? If I haven't found my person, what do I need to do to get that person? Do I need to lower my standards? Do I need to immediately position myself in situations to get that person and overdo things? Maybe that's the type of questions you're asking yourself. Or let's say you're interested in somebody and they don't really reciprocate your feelings. Then you start to ask yourself, is there something wrong with me? My dear friend, I'm here to tell you there's not. There's nothing wrong with you. And what is the cure to this idea that love needs to be expedited? My proposal, and you may be shaking your head to this, saying I've heard it all before, but please hear me out. I propose that we need to learn to be in our solitude. Now, I think in this society, we're taught that, again, we need to find the one. We will feel fulfilled and accomplished when we find our person. And while I'm a helpless romantic. While I do agree that we were not created as human beings to be alone, and we were created to be in community, we're created to be in partnerships, I think that this idea of love, romantic love, has been so pushed forward by society to the point where the messaging is that we need to even rush love and expedite it as soon as possible, to the point where society tends to now shun people that are comfortable in their solitude, people that take the time. They don't really rush to find the love of their lives. They prefer to be in their own company and in their own solitude, and to be the best version of themselves to attract that person in their lives. There's this quote on Tumblr to me that really resonates with me, and the source I will be putting it in this video. I think the quote said something along the lines of how, if I have so much love to give in the world, why don't I just pour all that love towards me? And honestly, that quote deeply, deeply resonates with me. When I say that we need to learn to live in our solitude, what does that look like? No, I don't mean when you go to the grocery, that's you being in your solitude. Yes, that's what it looks like, but practically, that's not what I quite mean. What I'm talking about when I say that we need to learn to live in our solitude, it looks like going in public on a date and taking yourself on a date alone. It looks like you doing solo traveling. Maybe you're somebody that's used to going out with your friends to travel. You're used to going out with your partner or something like that. Or you were used to going out with a partner when maybe you were in a relationship at the time and you are no longer in a relationship right now. But when I'm talking about learning to be in your solitude, that looks like going, traveling, and not really going with somebody. You can just go on your own, explore the world, and learning how to face your thoughts, your deepest, darkest thoughts that nobody knows except God. I think that when we begin to learn to live in our solitude, to be comfortable in silence, to be comfortable with the unknown, and to practice gratitude constantly, even if we don't really know who our soulmates are and who that person that's reserved in your life is. It really makes you see the world differently, and it really builds that kind of like resilience in you to know that everything is going to be okay. That yes, even if you don't have you haven't found your person, that's fine. It doesn't need to be rushed. It doesn't need to be expedited. You don't need to change your personality, change who you are inherently as an individual to attract a love that you desire. Because let me tell you, the person that is reserved for you will love the unique, authentic you, the one that's unapologetically you. It's not going to be somebody who, basically, the person that's not for you would love artificial versions of yourself that are not really the real you. But the real one that is out there for you is going to love the real authentic you, is going to bring out that inner child. So in the context of this video, why I think you shouldn't expedite love, it is because there's an alternative. The expedition of love is not the only solution. There are different ways to look at how love is manifested in this world. And one of those ways is love that is gentle and patient and doesn't rush. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for listening. And I hope that if you are somebody that has been waiting to find your person, I hope that love may find you. And may it be one of the most beautiful human interactions and dynamics you've ever experienced. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.